Not by might, nor by power, but by my spirit, say the Lord of hosts. Not by might, nor by power, but by my spirit, say the Lord of hosts. Not by might, nor by power, but by my spirit, say the Lord of hosts. I am Elijah, and that's the message the Lord God gave unto me to give unto you. Not by might, nor by power, but by my spirit, says the Lord of hosts. So that's found in Zechariah chapter 4, verse 6. But of course, I'm going to tell you to read Zechariah, really all of Zechariah, but Zechariah chapter 4, verses 4 through 6. And we know that the spirit of the Lord is what? Prophecy. So we know that. I had made a video before this, but man, when I went to do some adjustments to the video, some type of way that video was cut off, man. They don't want y'all to get the message. But the Lord God have given unto me to give unto you. As you know, Lord God sent me dream, vision, night vision, all sins, all the doubts, interpretation of them in His word. So let's get into it, because I know a lot of people wonder what had happened to me, but we're not gonna get into that. But what we are going to get into is, well, I'll tell you this dream. I'll tell you the dream that I had this morning last. But I had went to the storehouse. I mean, I wrote the dream down. I had went into the storehouse, into this storehouse anyway. It looked like a Walmart or a big warehouse. I bought one head of cabbage. I didn't have shoes on my feet. I had took them off. I went back to get them. I found them where I had took them off, and they had another shoe that was there. Looked like mine. I took it off the shelf, and I took it off the shelf. They had roaches everywhere, all types. I bought the cabbage. Looking at the roaches in the rafters and the studs, I brought the cabbage, put it into a bag, walk on the top of the levee. I saw two roaches come out the bag. I opened the bag, and cabbage was gone. And I first thought they had left it. And I remember that I had chicken at the house. So in this dream, the dream was I had taken my shoes off. I guess when I first got in the building, I had taken my shoes off and left them. So when I went in the building, so as I go in the building, man, there's nothing in this building. I mean, it's a storehouse. It's a food storehouse. So when they say storehouse, so it stores food. And no food, not on the shelves, not in this nothing. All they had was cabbages, and they just had one little bit of cabbages. And so, man, I mean, it was empty. You know when I say empty, I'm telling you empty. And they had about 3 or 4 people sitting around, but they was like, they was dressed in black. So that's all I can remember, that they was dressed in black. But everything was empty. Everything was gone out the storehouse. But this one bin, I guess they have cabbages. So I said, well, I guess I'll buy this head of cabbage. So as I bought the head of cabbage, man, they had roaches. They had roaches everywhere. I'm getting ahead of myself. So I remember I had took the shoes off my feet. So when I went and found them, they had another shoe that that looked like mine, but it was on top of a shelf. So I goes over there, I take the shoe off the shelf, and it was mine. I took it and I put it on my feet, and then after I took it and put it on my feet, I went and paid for the cabbage. So I bought the cabbage. Man, they had roaches in the rafters, in the ceiling on the raft. They had roaches in the stud. All of them, they had all types. They had what you call the cockroaches, water bug, the German roaches. I mean, they had all type of roaches. I'm telling you, man, they was everywhere. And they had no food, nothing in this storehouse. Nothing was in there. All they had was a few heads of cabbage. So I bought a cabbage. So as I bought the cabbage, I had this bag, but I didn't have like the shopping bags that they give you now, that you go get the reusable bag. So I had one of them. So I bought this. It was pretty big head of a cabbage. It wasn't the huge type, but it was a pretty big head. So I take the cabbage And I take the cabbage, I put it in the bag. So as I put it in the bag, the next thing I'm walking on top of a levee, river levee anyway, it could be anywhere. So as I'm walking on top of the levee, I see these two roaches. They were both of them were the same. One was like a cockroach, the other one was like a water bug. They come out the bag. So I open up the bag looking for the cabbage. But the cabbage, man, I said the cabbage was gone. So I thought, said, man, maybe I left it. Maybe I left it at the store. That's what I thought at first. And then I said, no, I couldn't have left it after the store. And then then cry over. I said, well, I remember I had some chicken at the house. That's what I remember. But the roaches had took the cabbage, put the cabbage in the bag. So evidently the cabbage, the roaches. I'm not gonna go into that. But anyway, so the roaches hadn't ate the cabbage. When they finished eating the cabbage, just came on out the bag, and I saw them at the left of the bag. So those who know what this dream means, you know what's coming. You know what's coming. You know, every time Lord God have given me a dream, I have given it to you. And I told you that dreams haven't started coming to pass faster now as it didn't before. Okay, that's another dream. I was driving around with a friend of mine, but this friend is dead. And they had a man with a white car following us. So I was driving, so they had a white car behind us. And so this man was following us. So the next scene, he has a weapon, an RPG, and it is pointing it at me. So I just took it out of his hand, and I told somebody to hold the weapon, the RG, while I took the weapon of the barrel, and started whipping him with it. And it was a pale green. The weapon was pale green. So I woke up from that dream. So, I mean, you gotta worry about, man, thank God gave me, has it not come to pass? Or it's gonna come to pass. It haven't came to pass yet, it's coming to pass. All right, dream I had this morning. So a dream I had this morning, I had a dream about this man. This man was a pedophile. So he was laying down in bed with two other men. And so they had wanted him to do something, but he was reluctant to do it. But he got up and went and did it and came back and laid down in the bed. And the man, people said, one of the men commented, said, man, that was really fast. Just like that. So next scene, he was talking about the drug that he had taken when he was young. And the drug that he had taken when he was young, it had opened up his mind to different things, like open his mind to different machine works and how they works, like computers and how they work. And so he was talking to these other two men beside, and I was there also, but as I said, I was looking at him. And as he was talking about how he took the drug, and the drug opened up his mind to how these different computers and things was working and operating. And so he pointed to one of the computer, and I seen the red light flashing on and everything. Man, so it opened up my mind to the drug I had taken. Man, it just opened up my mind to this. And the drug that he was taking was speed, I guess. I'm gonna say speed. But anyway, so then after he said about that drug, what he had done to that, so he turns back around, the door is open, they have a man in the door, so he points back up to another computer, and this one here is a little longer, flat like computer, and so as he started pointing to the other one, in my mind, I said, well, what if he didn't need no drug to operate those things, or for those things that come in mind, and your mind is just hardwired that way. That's why I said. So the next scene, we walking out, and I'm walking out with a woman, and we're talking about cooking, how to make use confetti and egg to make icing. That's what we was talking about. So he said, well, if a person don't know how to take the egg and make icing, well, then that person is not a cook. And that's why I said the same thing. So that person's not a cook. They don't know how to take an egg and use the egg with confetti and whip it to make icing. Say that person is not a cook. And then woke up from that dream. All I can do is give it to you. Like the Lord God has given to me. I got other dreams and everything. I have a dream for a person. Lord God give me a dream for a person. And I told him, say, I don't give it to a dream, but I told him, I said, if I don't give it to him today, because I know I had other dreams to get out there. And I give it to him Sunday morning, if possible. If possible, Sunday morning. But I don't give him the dream. Eventually he shall get the dream because it is for him. It is. So let's go. We're going to, so you know what's coming next. So you know what that dream about. So you know what's coming next. So let's go to, we're going to start at Isaiah chapter 42. Isaiah chapter 42. Oh man, I'm going to skip a whole lot of this. Oh man, I guess I'll read it all. Isaiah chapter 42. Behold, my servant whom I uphold, my elect, in whom my soul delighted. I have put my spirit upon him. He shall bring forth judgment to the Gentile. He shall not cry, nor cause his voice to be heard in the street. A bruised reed should he not break. A smoking flax shall he not quench. He shall bring forth judgment unto truth. He shall not fail nor be discouraged till I have set judgment in the earth, and the owl shall wait for his law. Thus saith the Lord, thus saith God the Lord, He hath created the heaven and stretched it out, He that spread forth the earth, and that which come out of it. He giveth breath unto the people upon it, and speaketh, and the spirit to them that walk therein. I'll repeat that. Isaiah chapter 2, verse 5. Thus saith God the Lord, He that created the heaven and stretched them out, and He that spread forth the earth and had that which cometh out of it, He that giveth breath unto the people upon it, and the spirit to them that walk therein. I, the Lord, have called thee in righteousness, and I will hold thy hand, I will keep thee, and I'll give thee for a covenant of the people, and for the light of the Gentile, to open the blind eyes, to bring out the prisoner from the prisons, and them that sat in darkness out of the prison house. I am the Lord, that is my name, my glory will. I am the Lord, verse 42:8. We're going to repeat it. Behold, it said, I am the Lord, that is my name. My glory will I not give to another. These are my praise to graven images. Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare before they spring forth. I tell you of them. Sing unto the Lord a new song, and his praise from the end of the earth. Ye that go down to the sea, and all that therein, the isles and the inhabitants thereof. Let the wilderness and the city thereof lift up their voice, and the village that Kedar do inhabit. Let the inhabitants of the rocks sing. Let them shout from the top of the mountains. Let them give glory unto the Lord, and declare his praise in the isles, with islands. The Lord shall go forth as a mighty man. He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war. He shall cry, yea, roar. He shall prevail against his enemies. I have long time holding my peace. I have been still and refrained myself. Now will I cry like a travailing woman. I will destroy and devour at once. I will make waste mountains and hills, and dry up all their herbs. I will make the rivers and the islands, and I will dry up the pools. I will bring the blind by the way that they knew not. I will lead them in paths that they have not known. I will make darkness light before them, and crooked things straight. These things will I do unto them, and not forsake them. They shall be turned back, they shall be greatly ashamed, that trust in graven images, that say to the molten images, Ye are our gods. Hear you deaf, look ye blind, that ye may see. Who is blind but my servant, or deaf as my messenger that I sent? Who is blind as he that is perfect, and blind as the Lord's servant? Seeing many things, but thou observest not. Open the ears, but he heareth not. The Lord is well pleased for his righteousness' sake. He will magnify the law and make it honorable. But this people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes. They are all hid in prison houses. They are for a prey and none delivered. for a spur, none say restore. Who among you will give ear to this? Who will hearken and hear for the time to come? Who gave Jacob for a spur and Israel to the robbers? Did not the Lord, he is against whom ye have sinned? For they would not walk in his ways, neither were they obedient unto his law. I'll repeat that. Isaiah chapter 42, verse 24. Who gave Jacob for a spur and Israel to the robbers? Did not the Lord, he against whom we have sinned? For the word, for they would not walk in his ways, neither were they obedient unto his law. Therefore he had poured upon him the fury of his anger and strength of the battle, and it has set him on fire round about, yet he knew it not, and burned him, yet laid it not to hold. I repeat that. Isaiah chapter 42, verse 25. Therefore he had poured upon them the fury of his anger and the strength of the battle, and he has set him on fire round about, yet he knew it not, and it burned him, yet he laid it not to hold. Isaiah chapter 42, now go to 43. But now thus saith the Lord that created thee, O Jacob, and he that formed thee, O Israel, fear not, for I have redeemed thee. I have called thee by thy name, thou art mine. When thou passest through the waters, I will be with thee, and through the rivers, they shall not overflow thee. When thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burned, neither shall the flame kindle upon thee. For I am the Lord thy God, the Holy One of Israel, thy Savior. I gave Egypt for thy ransom, and Ethiopia and Seba for thee. Since thou wast precious in my sight, thou hast been honorable. I have loved thee, therefore I give men for thee, and people for thy life. Fear not, for I am with thee. I will bring thy seed from the east, and gather them from the west. I'll say unto the north, give up, and to the south, keep not back. Bring my sons from far, and my daughters from the ends of the earth. Even every one that is called by my name, for I have created him for my glory. I have formed him, yea, I have made him. Bring forth the blind people that have eyes, and deaf that have ears. Let all the nations be gathered together, and let the people be assembled, who among them can declare this, and show us former things. Let them bring forth their witnesses, that they may be justified, and let them hear and say, it is truth. Ye are my witnesses, saith the Lord, and my servant whom I have chosen, that you may know and believe me, and understand that I am he. Before me there was no God formed, neither shall there be after me. Even I am the Lord, and besides me there is no Savior. I have declared and have saved. I have showed when there was no strange God among you. Therefore ye are my witnesses, saith the Lord, that I am God. Yea, before the day was, I am he, and there is none that can deliver out of my hand. I will work, and who shall let it? Thus saith the Lord, your Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. For your sake I have sent to Babylon, and have brought down all their nobles and the chariots, whose cry is in the ships. I am the Lord, your Holy One, the Creator of Israel, your King. Thus saith the Lord, which maketh a way in the sea, and a path in the mighty waters, which bringeth forth the chariot and horse, the army and the power. They shall lie down together, they shall not rise. They are extinct, they are quenched as tow. Remember ye not the former things, neither consider the things of old. Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth, shall ye not know it? I will even make a way in the wilderness, and the rivers in the desert. The beasts of the field shall honor me, the dragons and the owls, because I gave waters in the wilderness and rivers in the desert, to give drink to my people, my chosen. This people I have formed for myself, they shall show forth my praise. But thou hast not called upon me, O Jacob, but thou hast been weary of me, O Israel. Thou hast not brought me the small cattle of thy burnt offerings, neither hast thou honored me with thy sacrifice. I have not caused thee to serve with any offering, nor wearied thee with incense. Thou hast bought me no sweet cane with money, neither hast thou filled me with the fat of thy sacrifices. But thou hast made me to serve with thy sins, and thou hast wearied me with thine iniquities. Even I am he that blot out the transgressions for my own sake, and will not remember thy sins. But put me in remembrance. Let us plead together. Declare thou that thou mayest be justified. Thy first father hath sinned, and thy teachers have transgressed against me. Therefore I have profaned the prince of the sanctuary, and have given Jacob to the curse, and Israel to reproaches. Isaiah chapter 44. Now hear, O Jacob my servant, and Israel whom I have chosen. Thus said the Lord that hath made thee, and formed thee from the womb, which will help thee. Fear not, O Jacob my servant, and thou Jeshurun, whom I have chosen. For I will pour water upon him that is thirsty, and flood upon the dry ground. I will pour my spirit upon thy seed, upon my blessing, upon thy offspring. Isaiah chapter 44. Isaiah chapter 44. And they shall spring up as among the grass, as willows by the water course. One shall say, I am the Lord's. Another shall call himself by the name of Jacob. And another shall subscribe with his hand unto the Lord, and surname himself by the name of Israel. Thus said the Lord, the King of Israel, the Redeemer of the Lord of hosts. I am the first, I am the last. And besides me, there is no God. And in whom as I shall call and shall declare, and set in order for me, since I appointed the ancient people, and the things that are coming and shall come, let them show unto them. Fear not, neither be afraid. Have not I told you from that time, and have declared it? Ye are even my witnesses. Is there a God besides me? Yea, there is no God. I know not any. They that make a graven image are all of them vanity, and the delectable things shall not profit. They are their own witnesses. They see not, nor know, that they may be ashamed. Whom have formed the God, a molten or graven image that is profitable for nothing. I'll repeat that. Isaiah chapter 44, verse 10. Who have formed a God or a molten image, who have formed a God or a molten graven image that is profitable for nothing? Behold, all his fellows shall be ashamed, and the workmen they are of men. Let them all be gathered together, let them stand up, yet they shall fear, for they shall be ashamed together. The smith with the tongs both worketh in the coals, and fashion it with the hammers, and worketh it with the strength of his arm. Yea, he is hungry, and his strength faileth. He drinketh no water, and is faint. The carpenter stretched forth out his rule. He marked it out with a line. He fitted it with a planes, and he marked it out with a compass, and maketh it after a figure of a man, according to the beauty of a man, that it may remain in the house. He hewed him down cedars, and take the cypress and the oak, which strengthened for himself among the trees of the forest. He planted it as ash, and the rain do nourish it. Then shall it be for a man to burn, for he will take thereof and warm himself. Yea, he kindled it and baketh bread. Yea, he maketh it a god and worship it. He maketh it a graven image and fall down thereto. He burneth part thereof in the fire, and the part thereof he eateth flesh. He roasts, and is satisfied. Yea, he warmeth himself and said, Aha, I am warm, I have seen the fire. In the residue thereof he maketh a god, even his graven image. He falleth down unto it, and worship it, and prayeth unto it, and say, Deliver me, for thou art my God. They have not known nor understood, for he has shut their eyes that they cannot see, and their hearts that they cannot understand. And none consider in his heart, neither is there knowledge nor understanding to say, I have burned part of it in the fire. Yea, I also have baked bread upon the coals thereof. I have roasted flesh and eaten it, and shall make the residue thereof an abomination. Shall I fall down to the stock of a tree? He feedeth on ash and deceived his heart, and have turned him aside, that he cannot deliver his soul, nor say, Is there not a lie in my right hand? Remember this, O Jacob and O Israel. I'm saying, remember this, these. O Jacob, Isaiah chapter 44:21. Remember, it say these, this, O Jacob and Israel, for thou art my servant, I have formed thee. Thou art my servant, O Israel, thou shalt not be forgotten of me. I have blotted out as a thick cloud thy transgression, and as a cloud thy sins. Return unto me, for I have redeemed thee. Sing, O ye heavens, for the Lord hath done it. Shout, ye parts of the earth, and break forth into singing, ye mountains. O forest and every tree therein, for the Lord hath redeemed Jacob, and glorified himself in Israel. Thus saith the Lord thy Redeemer, he that formed thee from the womb. I am the Lord that maketh all things, that stretcheth forth the heavens alone, and spread abroad the earth by myself, that frustrate the tokens of the liars, and make diviners mad, that turneth wise men backwards, and make their knowledge foolish, that confirmeth the word of his servant, and performeth the counsel of his messengers, that said to Jerusalem, Thou shalt be inhabited, and to the cities of Judah you shall be built, and I will raise up the decayed places thereof. Thus said to the deep, Be dry, and I will dry up the rivers. Thus said of Cyrus, He is my shepherd, he shall perform all my pleasure, even saying to Jerusalem, Thou shalt be built, and to the temple thy foundation shall be laid. Thus said the Lord, Isaiah chapter 45. Thus said the Lord to his anointed Cyrus, whose right hand I have holden, to subdue nations before him. I will loose the lions of King. I'm saying the lion. I will loose the lawrence of King, to open before him the two-leaf gate, and the gate shall be not shut. I will go before thee and break the crooked places straight. Forgive me. Isaiah chapter 45, verse 2. I will go before thee and make the crooked places straight. I will break in pieces the gates of brass and cut asunder the bars of iron. I will give thee the treasure of darkness and the hidden riches of secret places, that thou mayest know that I, the Lord, which called thee by thy name, am the God of Israel. For Jacob my servant's sake, and Israel my elect. I have chosen and called thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me. I am the Lord, and there is none else. There is no God beside me. I have girded thee, though thou hast not known me, that they may know from the rising of the sun from the west, and there is none besides me. I am the Lord, there is none else. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. There drop down, ye heavens, from above, and let the skies pour down righteousness. Let the earth open, let them bring forth salvation, and let righteousness spring up together. I, the Lord, have created it. Woe unto him that striveth with the maker. Let the potsherd strive with the potsherds of the earth. Shall the clay say to him that fashioned, What makest thou? Or thy work he have no hands? Woe unto him that said unto his father, What begettest thou? Or to the woman, What hast thou brought forth? Thus saith the Lord, the Holy One of Israel, and his Maker. Ask me of the things to come concerning my sons, and concerning the work of my hands. I don't repeat that. Verses 45, verse 11. Thus saith the Lord, the Holy One of Israel, and his Maker. Ask me of things to come concerning my sons, concerning the work of my hands. Command ye me. I have made the earth and created man upon it. I, even my hands, have stretched out the heavens, and all their hosts have I commanded. I have raised him up in righteousness. I will direct all his ways. He shall build my city. He shall let go my captives, not for price nor reward, says the Lord of hosts. Thus says the Lord, the labor of Egypt and the merchandise of Ethiopia and of the Sabaeans, men of stature shall come over unto thee. They shall be thine. They shall come after thee in change. They shall come over. They shall fall down unto thee. They shall make supplication unto thee, saying, surely God is in thee, and there is none else. There is no God. Verily thou art a God that hidest thyself, O God of Israel, the Savior. They shall be ashamed and also confound all of them. They shall go to confession together that are the makers of the idol. I say confession, but confusion. Let's repeat that. Isaiah chapter 45, verse 16. They shall be ashamed, also confounded. All of them, they shall go to confusion together that are the makers of idols. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. You shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. For thus says the Lord that created the heavens, God himself that formed the earth and made it. He hath established it. He created it not in vain. He formed it to be inhabited. I am the Lord, and there is none else. I have not spoken in secret in dark places of the earth. I said unto the seed of Jacob, seek ye me in vain. I, the Lord, spake righteousness. I declare things that are right. Assemble yourself and come. Draw near together, ye that escape of the nations. They have no knowledge that set up the wood of the graven image and pray unto a God that cannot save. Tell you and bring them near, yea, let them take counsel together. Who have declared this from ancient time? Who have told it from that time? Have not I the Lord? There is no God else besides me, the just God and a Savior. There is none besides me. Look unto me and be ye saved, and all the ends of the earth, for I am God and there is none else. I have sworn by myself, the word is gone out of my mouth in righteousness. It shall not return. That unto me every knee shall bow and every tongue shall swear. Surely shall one say, in the Lord have I, Isaiah chapter 45, verse 24. Surely, or surely, shall one say, in the Lord have I righteousness and strength. Even to him shall men come, and all that are increased against him shall be ashamed. In the Lord shall all the seed of Israel be justified and shall glory. So that's the Lord God. So I suggest you go read, let me see. I suggest you go read Isaiah chapter 46 and go back over those what I have read to you. Why? Because, well, I'll read 46 for you. Baal bowed down, Nebo stupid. Their idols were upon the beasts and upon the cattle. Their carriages was heavy loaded. They are a burden to the weary beasts. They stooped, they bowed down together. They could not deliver the burden, but themselves are gone into captivity. Hearken unto me, O house of Jacob, and all the remnant of the house of Israel, which are born by me from the belly, which are carried from the womb. And even to your old age, I am he. Even the hoar hairs will I carry you. I have made and I will bear. Even I will carry and will deliver you. To whom will you liken me, and make me equal and compare me, that you may be like? They lavish gold out of the bag, and weigh silver in the balance, and hire a goldsmith, and he maketh it a gold. They fall down, yea, they worship. They bear him upon the shoulder. They carry him and set him in place, and standing him from his place, should he not remove? Should he not repeat? Isaiah 46, chapter 46, verse 7. They bear him upon the shoulder. They carry him. They set him in his place. He standeth, for his place shall he not remove. Yea, one shall cry unto him, yet can he not answer, nor save him out of his trouble? Remember this, and show yourself men. Bring it again to mind, O ye transgressor. Remember the former things of old, for I am God. There is none else. I am God, and there is none like me, declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient time the things that are not yet done. Saying, my counsel shall stand, I will do all my pleasure. Calling a ravenous bird from the east, a man to execute my counsel from a far country. Yea, I have spoken it. I will also bring it to pass. I have proposed it. I will also do it. Hearken unto me, you stout-hearted, that are far from righteousness. I will bring near my righteousness, it shall not be far off, and my salvation shall not tarry. And I will place salvation in Zion for Israel, my glory. Oh, I told you about I told you the dream that I had. I told you the dream that I had about the Lord God calling the ravenous bird from the east. Come on, man, I didn't told you about that dream. Well, I want to repeat. It's in one of my videos. It's in one of my other videos that I have made. It is. I'm going to tell you again. I'm going to tell it to you again. It's no big deal. No big deal. I'll tell it to you again. They had built, just like in a building, in a two-story building. And all of a sudden I see this arm and a hand, and they have a stick in it. We're going to say a branch or a stick. It's a stick. And it's like the kind your mama get to whip you with. It was one of them. And it couldn't have been no more than 3 feet, 36 inches, 3 feet long, maybe a little bit longer. But anyway, so the man takes in his hand. I don't see the man's face. All I see is the arm and the hand going out with the stick. And he reaches out this window. And when he reaches out the window, and just put it there, then the bird comes, this yellow bird that's coming laying on the stick. And so as soon as the bird laying on the stick, the man draws it back in. That's the dream. That's what I saw. And then when the Lord God showed me that, then I went there and found that. And then I found that. And then I told you that was Shishin Pain, calling the ravenous bird from the east and doing his will. So you got to, man, let's go back over and read, man. Lord God tells you, I'm the Lord God. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord God, does all these things. So that's the Lord God working. That's him working. So you know, if you listen to the Lord God have given to me in dreams and visions and to give unto you, then you know what's next. And our Lord God is calling you and telling you to come back. Come back. He told you, he declared this like a friend, he declared that he told you the ending at the beginning. So our father Abraham told you about the 400 years of slavery that we was going to be in. He told you about also, well, so much he have told. Let's go to Jubilees. Jubilees chapter 8. Jubilees chapter 8. So we know that the three brothers, the brothers had, we're in this book. This one here, and I know they have other books out there, but this is the book I'm reading from. Enoch, Jubilee, banned from the Bible, the book Enoch, Jubilee, and Hash. And now I'm reading for the book of Jubilees. I'm in chapter 8, but you know, I know they have other versions out there. And so I'm reading from chapter 8. And this was the 29th Jubilee, the beginning of the first week. Arpachshad took himself a wife. Her name was Resuijah, the daughter of Susan, the daughter of Elam. She gave birth to a son in the 3rd year in this week, and she called his name Canaan, start with a K. The son grew, and his father taught him writing, and he went to seek himself a place that he might seize a city for himself. He found writing which was from the former generation had carved on a rock, and he read in what was on it, and he transcribed it and sinned because of it. for it contained the teachings of the watches which they have used to observe the omens of the sun, the moon, the stars, and all the signs of heaven. He wrote down and said none of it, for he was afraid to speak to Noah about it, or he would be angry with him because of it. In the 13th Jubilee, in the second week, in the first year of it, he took himself a wife, and her name was Melika, the daughter of Madia. I'm just telling you, Madia, the son of Yepet, chapter 8 of Jubilees. And in the 4th year, he begot a son and called his name Shelah. The same thing with our father David, or the prophet David, whatever you want to call him, in the book of Psalms, and at the end he says Shelah. That's what it says. For he said, truly I have been sent. I'm telling you, see, they have to tell people there's a reason and purpose for everything under the sun. But you listen to these pastors, preachers, and teachers and all those things, and God tell you, I didn't send them people. But yet you listen. Okay, well, don't worry about it. Just like I told you, come out to church house, synagogue, sanctuary, high place, and temple, and tabernacle. You ain't got to come out. God know how to get you out of them. I already told you that. Listen to my videos. The reason why I tell you listen to my videos, you don't really have to listen to my videos. If you keep God's holy commandments in the book of the covenant, you don't have, you do it if you want to do it, but as long as you keeping God's holy commandments and his holy covenant, you have nothing to fear. Once you get back in the bonds, if you ever come, go read Deuteronomy chapter 28. All right. Shelah grew up and took himself a wife. Her name was Muak, M-U-A-K, and a daughter of Kisid, his father's brother, in one of the 13th Jubilee in the 5th week in the first of it. And she gave birth to a son in the 5th year and called his name Eber, E-B-E-R, and took to him herself a name Asurai, and a daughter of Nebrod. In the 32nd Jubilee in the 7th week, the 3rd year of it. And the 6th year of it gave birth to a son and called his name Peleg. And for in his days he was born the children of Noah and began to divide the earth among themselves. For this is reason his name Peleg. See, so they started dividing earth up. I'm getting to where I'm coming to. This, let me finish reading. So they divided secret among themselves and told it to Noah. So the brothers had divided the earth secret among themselves. And in the beginning of the 33rd Jubilee, 3-3, they divided earth into 3 parts, for Shem, Ham, and Japheth, according to the inheritance of each. The first year in the first week, when one of us angels who had been sent was with them. So one of the angels had been sent with them as they done this. And he called his sons, and they drew close to him and their children. And he divided the earth into the lots, which his 3 sons were to take in portion. And they reached out their hands and took the writings out of the arms of Noah, their fathers. There came out on the writing Shem, the lot of the middle of the earth, that he should take as inheritance for himself and for his sons for the generation of eternity. See? That's our lots, because that's who we come from. We come from Shem. And that's our lots, our inheritance throughout what? Eternity. For the middle of the mountain of the range of Rapha, from the mouth of the water from the river Atina, his portion goes toward the west to the middle of the rivers, and extending to reaches the waters of the abyss, and out of which the rivers goes out and pours into the waters, into the sea. Meet, and the river flows into the great sea. All that is towards the north is Japheth, and toward the south belongs to Shem, and it extends until it reaches Caruso. This is the center of the tonal land that looks towards the south. His portion extends along the great sea, and it stands in a straight line until it reaches the west tongue that looks towards the south. For this sea is named the tongue of the Egyptian sea, and is turned from toward the south toward the mouth of the great sea and the shores of its water, and it extends to the west to Afra, and extend until it reached the water of the river Gihon, in the south of the rivers of Gihon to the banks of the rivers. It extends towards the east until it reached the Garden of Eden to the south of it, and from the east of the whole land of Eden, of the whole earth. It turns to the east for seas until it reaches to the east of the mountain named Rapha, and extends toward the bank of the mouth of the river Tina. This portion came out the lot for Shem and his son, that they should possess it forever to his generations. What? Forever. That's our forever portion. Okay. Noah rejoiced that his portion came out of Shem and from his son, and remember all that he has spoken, what his mouth in prophecy. So you got to go forward, you got to go backwards. When after that situation with Ham, Yepet, and Shem, and how Shem treated his father during that time, and his father blessed Shem. So go back to that blessing, and that's the prophecy. And we know that prophecy have to be filled, because why? It's the Spirit of the Lord. Revelation chapter 19, verse 10. Okay. For he has said, Blessed be the Lord God of Shem, and may the Lord dwell in the dwelling of Shem. See? And that's why the Lord God is going to be with us. That's where we're going. We're going to forever be with the Lord. This is, because that's our portion. Our father Noah blessed us. Okay, well, let's see. He knew that the Garden of Eden is the Holy of Holies and the dwelling of the Lord. Mount Sinai, the center of the desert. Mount Zion, which is the great, oh, let me stop. Time is up. He blessed let's see. For he knew the Garden of Eden is the Holy of Holies and the dwelling of the Lord. And Mount Sinai, the center of the desert. And Mount Zion, which is the center of the navel of the earth. These three were created as the holy places facing each other. And he blessed the God of gods, who had put the word of the Lord into his mouth and the Lord forever. And he knew that the blessed portion, the blessing, should come to Shem and his sons and their generation forever, which was the whole land of Eden, the whole land of the Red Sea, the whole land the east of India, and the Red Sea, the mountains of it, and all the land of Bashan, and all the land of Lebanon, and the Isles of Caphtor, and all the mountains of Sinai and Amana, and the mountains of Ashur in the north, and all the land of Elam, Ashur and Babel, and Susan and Medidia, and all the mountains of Ararat, and all the region beyond the sea, which is beyond the mountain of Ashur towards the north, and blesses the spacious land, and all that in it is very good. Then you go on the portion of Ham and Shem. So I read that's Jubilees chapter 8. So that's our portion. And that's for the Lord God coming back. Man, stop thinking. One of our greatest mistakes is that we have forsaken the Lord our God. We have forsaken his covenant, but we didn't turn back. A lot of us didn't turn back. And so Lord God come and get us, because that's an everlasting covenant he made with us. And we should always be with him. And that's what these people try and do. The people try and take our portion that had fallen towards us. And you see what portion that we get. They don't want that to happen. Man, they doing their best and trying, but they can't stop that. You can't stop that. The Lord just finished reading to that. And the consummation have started. Ain't nothing they can do. And nothing they can do. Then these plagues, all these plagues and things that's coming up on the earth. One thing for sure, the Lord God is telling you, and he's showing you, giving you these signs and one just for you, O Israel, for you to repent and turn your hearts back to your God, for you to go back keeping God's holy covenant, keeping all God's commandments, especially the covenant day. Yeah, I already told you about what makes that day so special. And the Lord God reminded you, go to Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 15. I have other dreams and things for you. Man, God showed me so much. So he hadn't showed me so much, man. But you know what's the next plague coming? So I gave you that dream, and like I tell you, I'm gonna tell you again. If you go, here's a dream that I had. I forgot about this dream. I forgot about the dream. God, you know how God give you quick vision. So on his quick vision, Spike Lee is on the stage, like the stage at a movie theater, and on the backdrop they have these emojis, look like emojis. I don't know exactly what they are, and they was in a booth in a big frame, and Spike Lee was on the stage dancing with the blue emojis and this other screen, whatever screen was behind him, he was dancing with it. So that I just read because, like I told you, I get up and I have to write down something. I'm gonna forget the dream, so I had wrote that down, and why I'm talking to you, it had came back. I have other dreams, man. It's so much the Lord God is showing me, and so much is coming to pass. A lot of things are coming to pass, and they're coming to pass real fast. But another thing, I have a dream. I have a dream for a person that I have a dream for a person that I told him I'd give it to him. Probably tell it to him. Hopefully at 28, but this is the beginning of the Sabbath. During the Sabbath, if you're keeping the Sabbath right, the Lord God give me about so many dreams. The Lord God give it to me on the Sabbath when I was relaxed. So, but I hope that you remember dream what's coming up next. Um, what's coming up next? So this is not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, says the Lord of hosts, not by my found in Zechariah chapter 4, verse 6. Not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, says the Lord of hosts, and I'm Elijah. Until next time.